you do something, you not only ruin your life for the person you took, but you ruin your life, their parents' life, their mother's life. And our kids don't understand that. Training would definitely help reduce the violence. Why? Because once you train them, not just talking about the firearm, because they already know about the firearm, about the law. What the law says. We teaching them basic firearms training. We teaching them the law. We teaching them what this weapon is used for, to preserve life and not to take a life. We teaching them, when to come to hunting,
In 3, 2, 1, let's get into action. Welcome back to Surviving Startup. And today we have a returning guest. It's the Rev with a gun himself,
Yes.
Reverend Willie Anderson.
Yes.
Tell him who you are. Tell him what you do.
Well, thanks for having me again, man. It's always good to come back home, to family.
Man, we glad to have you back. The last episode went kind of crazy, man.
Yes,
we touched on some
a lot of stuff.
We touched on some good topics.
Stuff. Well, my name is Reverend Willie Anderson. Like you said, Rev with hashtag Rev with a gun. The proud owner of My Brother's Keeper Security Solutions and your first black gun dealership here in Grand Rapids. We teach CPL training, firearms training, and we also have a security company which is taking off. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but it's been taking off really well.
Okay, yeah, I remember that was one of the things that you was really trying to get to take off was that security part. Okay, so last time we went a lot in depth about like the thing about guns and all of that. So today, let's start off with letting the people know who you are. So as we dig into the entrepreneurship part, no, first of all, let me say this. So this month, we are focusing on nonprofits that are focusing on the community and with the specific goal in mind of de-escalation and bringing down gun violence in our community. It's so many young boys that's dying to gun violence, and it's getting ridiculous. So this is the focus. Let's get your background first.
Well, my background, I've been in security since I was 16 years old. I'm a certified clinical counselor. I have a master's in a master's level training in crisis counseling, and I've been working in the school systems off and on for maybe 10 years. I'm working in the school system now. I do the CPL training. I've been doing, like I said, working in security and CPL training here in Michigan for the last 5 years.
So you have a CPL training. You have an actual gun store where you can go buy guns.
And also a security company where we do armed security, bodyguarding, chauffeur. You name every aspect of security we do. And we've been fortunate. The city we've been working with people in the cities, had opportunity to do bodyguard and work security with some of the senators here from Washington.
Oh, so you on big things.
Oh, yeah, God is good, man. Yeah.
You got big things going on.
We did the art prize, when we had the Afro-American art prize downtown, the festival, we was there, they asked us to come out and do security. So, we've been doing, by the grace of God, I've been doing security, touching a lot of lives, But going back to the topic, safety and security, as far as part of the firearm safety training, that's our key, safety training, how to stop gun violence, and the city's doing that pitch night again, as you just mentioned. And with the pitch night,
Safe Task Force,
right? The pitch night. What they want to do is looking for nonprofit organizations to come out with an idea. What's your idea to help stop gun violence or help to reduce the violence? Do you have an idea? Do you have a pitch that you might say, hey, listen, you know what? I think this will work. Whatever the idea may, get a kid something to do to get them off the streets. Myself, passing out free gun locks and teaching firearm safety training to the children, and not just the typical part of pulling the trigger, but teaching them what the law says if you do pull the trigger, giving them that tangible evidence of training, because we don't. And they learning it all the wrong ways, as we talked last time we was talking.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
if you have an idea That's what this is about. That's what the task force is looking for. You know, we got some great men and women of the city that's running the task force. However, they don't know everything. So they're looking for me and you in the community, that's in the community, to come out and say, hey, this is my idea. How can I, what can I do, or what you can do to give us an idea that we can take your idea and put it to work.
And one of the dope things I think that's really, really cool about this is the fact that it puts so many people in one room with the same goal in mind of bringing down violence and bringing down gun violence in our community and de-escalation in our community. So even if it's not like you don't walk around with the grand prize, then you still have the opportunity to build relationships with the people that's trying to do what you're trying to do on a different level. Like, same goal in mind, different way that y'all got to accomplish it. So when we start to come together on these things, then those things can really begin to happen in our community and we can really start to see change. So I'll ask you this. Gun violence in our community, what do you think is one of the biggest problems that's contributing to the violence in our culture?
Well, me personally, lack of training. It's a lack of training. Our kids gravitate to the firearm because it's in this world, in this neighborhood, so accessible. However, they don't have the mentality of understanding. You pull that trigger, what's going to happen afterwards? They looking at the TV, they looking at the videos, they looking at the games. Now, I'm not an advocate against games. I love games. I have an Xbox myself. However, it is programming. It is programming. When you put that Oculus on, you're in a virtual world, virtual reality. When you get into that gaming system, you're literally in a virtual world, and you that character. So if you playing GTA and you running over certain people, you shooting certain people, and then the crazy part is, if you look at the video games and most of those GTS and all that, the person you shooting look like you. So it desensitizes you to real violence. You know, they don't understand. You don't respond. You don't respond. You don't get a second life. You know, you do something, you not only ruin your life for the person you took, but you ruin your life, their parents' life, their mother's life. And our kids don't understand that. Training would definitely help reduce the violence. Why? Because once you train them, not just talking about the firearms, because they already know about the firearm, about the law. What the law says. Because I got a lot of people. I trained by the grace of God since the last time, over 700 plus peoples in this community, in Grand Rapids in the community. And a lot of
took in a CPL
training or some kind of firearm training with me. First base, I get parents, I get mothers telling me I got a firearm, but I never shoot it. I'm scared of it. But she own it. And teaching them how to keep it safe, you know, but don't hide it from your 11-year-old, your 12-year-old. Let's talk to them about it and let them know why we got this tool. But and again, remember last time I talked, I said we don't have scissor stabbers in school because we teach our kids what to do with scissors, and we pass them out in schools.
Right. One thing we was talking about after we had the last podcast was emergency plan for our family. Like, we have plans for if some type of weather happened, we know to go to the basement, we know to do this, but then what if something critical happens, a break-in or something, somebody trying to harm our life? Like, so I think that was real critical. And we probably need to like do refreshers and really go deeper, but at least put it in our minds to, okay, let's...
Well, again, because, you know, it was always saying, if you don't plan, you plan to fail. You automatically plan to fail. If you don't put a plan in action, you're already planning to fail. And having that plan, having that...
You fail to plan, you plan to fail.
You fail, right. You have still that, you know, having that escape plan, having that, hey, listen, let's put these things in practice, because we don't. We don't. And again, some of the parents don't know how to talk to their children about firearms because they don't know about firearms. They have it, they hide it, and say we don't, you know. And God forbid the kid get a hold of it, take it to school, now the parent's in trouble, you know. One of the things my brother's keepers had, that free lock program we was talking about.
Yep.
That's one of the things, you know.
So we talking about, like, they don't know, though. So what kind of locks we talking about?
We talking about firearm locks. We talking about gun locks. A lock to put on your gun so it won't be able to pull the trigger, so the kid won't be able to use it. So that's one of the things that we passed out over 1,000 of those, you know. And just FYI, there's still some in the community. So if you're over in the Boston area, you go to the Boston community, or you over there by the Oakdale area, they got some over at the Oakdale office.
So you saying like the community centers, they actually have some through you?
Yes, through me, through my brother's keepers, they got some gun locks there. So you can just go in there, hey, I heard on the podcast, or hey, I would like to get one of the gun locks. I train some of the people there so they know how to put the lock on the gun to show you how to use it.
Okay,
again,
that's a nice community. That's a
that
nice
right
resource
there
in the community.
help reduce some of the violence because they can't use the firearm now.
Yeah.
You know,
Now we're talking about like kids that get their parents' gun or
Right.
find a gun in the house somewhere.
now
and
they
things
can't
like
use
that.
it because they won't be able to pull a trigger. You know, and it's a big old lock, so they can't take it outside and show
Yeah.
their friends, look what we got. And one of the states, that's how we also reduce it, making sure that our firearms or the weapon, whether it's any firearm, is put up and locked up safely, you know.
Okay.
But I'm still a proponent of training. You know, again, as scripture tells us, my people perish from the lack of knowledge, and the lack of knowledge is lack of training. You know, if we give them that training, we won't be seeing our kids perish, you know.
Specifically, what kind of training?
Well-
so you said the gun locks.
Basic firearm training, to know about the weapon, how it operates. Also, the right way. Because, again, I get people plenty, I know how to shoot. No, you know how to pull the trigger. It's a difference. But the biggest thing is knowing the law. What the law says
Okay.
about carrying that thing. What the law says, if you get in your car with your homeboy and he got a firearm in there, you going to jail too. You know, especially if he ain't got the laws. You know, we get these kids as 18, 19, 21-year-old that got rights to have a firearm, but they're carrying it the wrong way, so now they're going to jail.
What that mean the wrong way?
Well, we got in Michigan, we have an open carry law, which means you can go purchase, if you're 21 or older, you can go to one of the stores, my store, come in, buy a firearm. Mm-hmm. You can legally take that firearm out, put it on a holster, outside the waistband holster where they can see it, like the cops be wearing their firearm.
Yeah.
You can legally wear that in Michigan, openly. But see, they don't tell them, but a lot of things what you don't know about the law is you can carry that weapon, but you can't have a bullet in the chamber. Nobody tell you that. That cop come, you got a bullet in the chamber, you're going to jail. When you get out your car, when you go to the car or the vehicle, you got to disassemble that weapon. You got to put the magazine in one spot, the gun in another spot. And if you don't do that, now you're carrying a concealed weapon. So now you can go to jail. If you open carry and your jacket covers it, they can get you. You know, I see some kids and stuff like that, they got the firearm in their waistband, thinking it's open. That's not open carry. That's not open
so
carry.
You can't just tuck it inside.
You can't tuck it in
Why?
your pocket. You
Why
can't
though?
tuck, because that's not open carry. That's concealed now.
Is it because half of the gun is not showing?
It's not showing. Even if you had an open carry and you got it on top of a motorcycle, they can get you for concealed. Because the motorcycle is a motorized vehicle, a gas-powered vehicle.
And then it's like, how do you do that then with them?
Yeah,
You really put it in two different places on the motorcycle?
Well, that's what you got a backpack and a knapsack for.
Okay.
You know, you got to disassemble
Yeah.
it. The thing is, the reason we disassemble because you cannot have easy access to it. If you open carry, you can't have easy access to it, because if you did, it nullifies the concealed carry. Do that make sense?
Yeah.
And if you got into a situation, open carry, you got in a situation, you got time to think about getting that weapon, putting the magazine in, racking it back. That's time. You thought about what you was going to do. Now you hold for your actions. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. On the other hand, if you got your concealed carry and you being threatened and you being in, your weapon is already ready. That's why I advocate for those who got one, get their concealed licensing, because again, God forbid, the weapon don't do you no good if you can't use it for the right reason. And that's why you want to know the law, because you just can't go out willy-nilly using it either, because you got a concealed license. The concealed license is not a bulletproof badge. It's not you're not a cop. You're not, the next door neighbor, neighborhood watch, patrol.
Yeah.
It's none of that. And that's why you need to know the law. That's why you need to know, what can I do when I do get my CPL license, and what can I do when I got this weapon. Having a firearm is more responsibility than not having one.
Okay.
When you got that, you got a lot of responsibility, and that's what I train and teach. Responsibility, the responsible way to carry, the responsible way to have this firearm. And
so elaborate on that then. Like, what's the responsibilities that come with carrying a firearm?
As a person that you can carry a firearm. You have a felony or nothing like that, and you legitimately can carry a firearm. That responsibility, one of the responsibilities is you have to be what we call the right. I mean the person, you can't have an attitude. Say me and you got into an argument, right? And you don't have a firearm, and I got one. And a cop come. The cops have to come. And they coming because we disturbing the peace. Well, because I got a firearm, the cop literally could charge you with a felony charge because you got the firearm, and because they could say you could have upscaled it. And the person that don't have the firearm,
even if you don't pull it out.
Nope. But see, when the cop approach you, because the cop approached me in the line of duty, I have to acknowledge to this police officer, I do have a CPL license and I have a firearm with me. I have to acknowledge that. So if a cop coming up to you, you see a cop, you don't have to just volunteer that you got a firearm.
Yeah.
But if he's coming to you on the line of duty, you have to acknowledge that you got a firearm. If he pull you over and you got a CPL license, whether you got your firearm with you or not, you have to acknowledge it. Now, if he coming up to
So
me,
that's law.
that's law.
So if the police pull you over and you have CPL.
You have a CPL, you have to acknowledge, officer, I do have a CPL license, whether you have your firearm with you or not.
Wow.
With you or not. Now, if you don't have it,
You got to school us on some of these laws,
and that's what I'm getting at. You know, a lot of people don't know them. We buy the firearm, and understand, I don't blame the stores because they don't have to tell you none of this. Now, you come in my store, you getting everything because, again, I don't want you to be in lack of knowledge. I don't want you walking out and you got a firearm and then you don't know what to do with it when you get home, how to transport it. That makes sense?
Yeah, exactly.
So those little things, those little things right there, you know.
And now you got a felony.
A felony. And again, you lost your license not because you was out there to do the wrong thing. You lost it because you did the wrong thing.
Yep.
And you did the wrong thing because you didn't know. You know, you go to a store, they don't have to say, hey, once you go leave the store, this is what's going to happen if you do this with that weapon. Their job is to sell a weapon. They sold the weapon. Your job is to find out what I can do and what I can't do when I have this weapon with me. So those
what's
little
the parameters?
things,
What's everything?
right? Those
what's
little
everything
things
that come with it?
You know, well,
These young dudes.
I'm out here. I got my firearm and I'm smoking weed. It's legal. No, you can't because again, you're under influence now.
And so now that just puts yourself at risk.
And the person you're around. You know, and again, it's because you're under influence, because you're thinking, because I can do it, you get a right to do it. No, you know. So those are the little things when it comes to with the firearm. Because again, I love training. Because again, I don't want our people out here dying. I don't want our people getting hurt. You know, how you approach a police officer when you got a firearm. Your hands should be where they can see them all the time. You know, why? Because again, one of the things is we don't see in our community is a police officer playing basketball or a police officer playing baseball with you.
Nah,
we don't
just when you see them, it's I don't mean to cut you off, but like you kind of struck a nerve with that one. Like, yeah, because I ain't gonna lie, like I was out of the neighborhood for a minute, and then I had to move back to the neighborhood. And I'm like, yo, it's like the police is just around here looking for who they can find doing something wrong. They not out here to be part of the community. They just they looking for wrong. And then sometimes when I get pulled over, when you can tell how they approach you, they just looking for somebody to see if you have just a little bit wrong so they could search your vehicle, so they could try to find something in your vehicle or something.
Well, that's where the law come in too. That's where the law come in too, because they cannot just search your vehicle.
Yeah, they can't.
If an officer asks you, hey, can I search your vehicle? You tell them no. No, officer, I don't give. And then you don't say it cocky. You don't say it disrespectful. See, this is another thing we do. And I was talking to some people about prejudice. And I was sharing with them, we all got prejudices. Mm. Now, we may not be prejudiced, but we do got prejudice. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we may not be racist, but we definitely got prejudice. If a cop pull you over and you going, it's a 70 mile per hour, and you going 72 miles per hour, do that cop got a right to pull you over?
He do, but it's
ain't no buts. Ain't no buts. You breaking the law.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting at. Me and you will get mad because Uncle George told us we got that courtesy of 5 miles. Ain't no courtesy. We broke the law. What I'm getting at is this, though. That same cop that's getting out that vehicle, we have no idea who that cop is. We don't know if they got a wife at home or a husband at home or a child at home. We just see uniform. Mm-hmm. And because me and you had certain incidents with police officers, we just put all our incidents on this guy.
I'm going to tell you the truth, though. For me, it's not that way because for me, when I see a police instantly, I'm like, oh man, like even if you ain't like that's black people, even when you ain't doing nothing,
right? That's what I'm getting at.
But still, it's the way that they approach you when they approach you. And there's some officers that approach you respectfully, and there's some officers that just it's just the way that they talk to you.
Again.
And the thing that's really is not about the fact that it's just been it's the fact that it's hard to live in our communities.
Mm-hmm. But
like it's like you have to worry about the police when you live in our community.
And that's the sad part too, because again, and when I was making my point was we don't see cosplaying in our neighborhoods. We don't see it, but we don't invite them to do it either.
It's an organization I seen do that.
No, right. So but I'm talking about the community though. I'm talking about the community as a whole. Because again, most of the time we don't sit up there and say, "Hey, Officer Joe, I'm getting married. Would you come to the wedding?" But we say, "Hey, Officer Joe, me and my wife getting at it. Can you come and break up this fight?" And then when he coming in the line of duty. "Hey, we having a cookout. Would you like to come and get a burger?" "Nah, Uncle Tom got drunk. Now we need you to come." But then he coming in the line of duty. And every time we see them, either they doing their job, whether it's good, bad, or ugly, they doing their job and they putting handcuffs on us. And that's when we see them in our neighborhood. And that's the way we picture them when they pulling us over, when they coming, And we do get ones that's rude, but we got some really special ones out there, man. I work with them. I talk with them. I mean, got captains that really, that I know their names. I know their kids. I seen their kids with them. She's a mom, and she works in our community, and she love our community.
Okay, so then why we on this topic then? Because it's not just been violent, like the violence in our community. I think for one, we need to stand up more when it's us killing each other, not just when the police do it. But at the same time, there has been a few instances in Grand Rapids itself where police have killed unarmed individuals.
Yes, and that happens. Not only in Grand Rapids, that happened here. But see, you got to understand this too. And some people ain't going to like this.
So what you think was the problem and what's the solution?
Some people don't like this. Training, not defunding, training the police. Most cops that we got now, man, they 25 and down, and young, and they young, and the generation these days have no communication skills. They don't communicate. They text. They leave voicemail. They don't talk with like me and you talking. They don't have no communication skills. And then we talking cops. We talking those kids that's coming out of college, no communication skills. They texting everything. They emailing everybody. They on Zoom. No face-to-face communication. And they go to the academy, and they in that room, and they still texting home. They not calling, "Hey, mom, hey, dad, how you doing?" or whatever. They still texting. They sitting right next to each other texting. So when they get into the real world in the society, they don't have no communication skills. But then they being trained and taught by somebody that's teaching them and telling them what the black community look like or how the black community is. Well, they don't care about it, so why should we care about it? Or they see it on TV.
From their perspective.
Or from their perspective, right, that they get. Now, not all of them. Not all of them. Because some of them that comes in the community see how much is love in the community.
Yeah.
But then when they do come in our community, do we treat them with respect and love? And we don't, because we put our bias on the one that don't deserve the respect and love. So we put our bias on that one that want the respect and love, want to show love to the community. But we don't give them a fair shot because we already seen what your counterparts did or your other brother in blue did. So how we know you're going to be any different? And then when you try to be different, can we trust you? Can we trust you? And that's what we throw out there.
Think?
That's what we throw out there.
Can we trust the police in our community?
And see, the sad part is most of us say no, but then we let the crime get away with it in our community. And now we upset because we got crime in our community, like we talking right now. How do we stop the violence? How do we stop these kids from shooting each other? Coming in daylight, shooting each other in the face. Again, here go another controversial thing.
Total disregard for life.
Here go another disregard. Here go another thing.
Life.
We say Black Lives Matter, but we don't protest or march when that black kid got shot. Right
True.
there, right in our neighborhood, right over on Madison, off of Madison. We didn't march. We didn't protest. Now, certain organizations did. I'm not saying, but I'm saying the big organization. When that black cop ran over that kid with the car. We had everybody out there. Now, he should have been out there because that cop was wrong. Totally wrong. But when he hit him with the gun at Burger King, totally
I said
wrong.
the same thing, but what you just said kind of put a bigger perspective on it to me, right? So if all the biggest organizations rally to try to get the whole city together every time this happened, then it will start to look like people will start to think more about what's happening, because every time you see the city coming together and like a lot of people say like marches is far as the big picture of the country, I agree. Like marches ain't really helping us no more. But far as like our culture, killing our own culture, then if it was a procession of most of 50%, just 50% of our culture just marching through the city every time this happened, then you will see it every time it happened, because you will be able to see it happening and you will look like, oh man, another one. And but you will see, you will see the people out there together though. So then I think that will start to actually start to put a different kind of mindset
but
towards
see, this is
it.
the thing. We have to, because we only do it in pocket of communities. If it's God forbid, if it touch your household, your household is the one out there.
Yeah.
And I'm not.
Yeah, true.
Unless it touch my household.
Yeah.
But if we rally around each other, and we say stop the violence, we say stop the censorship. But again, if we sitting there seeing little Mike and Ricky right there in the neighborhood with guns in our hands, why we don't say nothing to them? Or why don't we say, yo, you know what? Hey, we need to do something about these kids, because we more afraid of them than they are us now. Man, and we don't say nothing.
These old people don't want to, and I ain't gonna say like I ain't part of the culture, you know what I mean? But these young dudes wild.
But
and
again,
it's like
and the reason they wild, because we allow them to get away with it.
But now they're there. So now I'm just speaking for me, I try to do as much as I can for my household and start there. You know what I mean? We did the thing last year with the Youth Entrepreneur Expo. Yeah. So we out here doing stuff. But far as like when you seeing the kids in the neighborhood, like those little dudes, they up to something. The grandmas ain't around no more. But then it used to be a certain respect for the elderly, and it's not even that respect for the elderly no more. Again, they'll pull up on you right about now.
And again, that's so true. No, that's true. That's true. That's true. That's why I teach. That's why I teach to be safe. That's why I teach to be safe. And like you said, teaching people how to observe their community to be safe. What I'm saying is we need to step out and hold them accountable and stop being afraid of our children. Stop being afraid of our children. That's why we lose them, because we scared to say something to them. I ain't telling you run out there and start yelling and screaming at that young man.
Yeah.
But say, hey, let me speak to you, young bro. Hey, listen, this right here going to get you in prison or jail, man, or dead. That's what's going to happen, man. You carrying this dude. Yo, you don't have to do it this way, because, again, I understand you're scared of this guy, you scared of that guy. But the thing is this, though, this was going to happen. But we afraid to tell them that. That's what I'm saying. We're afraid to speak to them because we scared of what they might say or they might reject it. I ain't going to listen to me, so why should I say something? Well, I mean, you all hold that same playing card. They never going to get nobody talking to them. You know what I'm saying? I tell the kids in my school, I don't do disrespect because I won't disrespect you, and I'm not going to tolerate it. Exactly. And I got mad respect for all them kids in the school. I walk in the classroom, Mr. Anderson coming. And not because they're afraid of me, but they know it's a respect level. And they know I got their back. They're coming, yo, Mr. Anderson, somebody just did this, boom, 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 boom. Why you think they telling me? Because they want community. They want community, but they want somebody in that community that they can respect or trust to tell. And if they ain't got nobody who's coming up to them and say, yo, look, come here, little man. Come here, little bro. Let me speak to you. You just spoke some wisdom into this kid. You just put something in their head. Now he thinking. Now when he sees something that he needs somebody to talk to, hey, Mr. J, can I speak to you for a minute? Yo, why you talking? Oh, that old man, he cool, man. I just want to go ask him a question. Hey, Mr. J, man, blah, 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 blah. Now he putting something in you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now he letting you know what's going on or something that's going on, that something might be hurting. So, again, that's how we build community. But if we don't say nothing to our kids, that's how we lose our kids. And going back to the, it's going just spinning it right back to the pitch night. That's what we talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
We bringing it back
Yep.
there because that's what it's all about. I'm,
And that's why we going down this lane. Like it's
Right.
a little bit different with these
it's
episodes.
deeper, right? It's deeper because again, you might have something to be able to say, hey, you know what? I like what you're saying, and my idea was to have a community so the kids can come and we can rap.
Hey, but you know what? You know what I hear from where this topic come from? So I asked a question, what is the problem? And I didn't even get to say what's the solution because we already started talking about the solutions. But from what you're saying, it's like 60-70% the parents and maybe 30-40 the kids that's actually doing it. And when I say the parents, I don't mean just the parents, because you can raise your kids as best as you can and your kid will still go out there and be a gangster.
I understand.
Like real talk. But the one thing that you really iterated is the community aspect. So it's not no more the elderly out there that's coming out that has no fear of whatever's going on in the community. And one of the things the elderly always had, though, more than discipline, was love. And I think that's why we respected the elders because of the amount of love. But then now, the older people want to be cool with the younger people, so it's less of that love showing and more of this friendship thing happening, and there's nobody that's really going out. It's some dope organizations in the community.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's actually going out here. And then from some that I talked to and some of the organizations that's like that's the main focus that they out here doing every day. Even they like, yo, these kids, it's hard to reach these kids, man.
It is, but one of the things is not giving up on these kids because, you know.
But somebody said the same thing.
One of the things is, I'm always saying, up. It's one.
And we'll blame their generation, but then our generation to give up on
We failed them. We gave up on them.
You know what I'm saying?
Because there's only one. If I could reach one. I mean, hey, man, as a man of God, one man took 12 men to change the world.
Yeah.
Jesus, 12 men. He didn't do 50. He didn't know. 12 men went out and did what they need to do. If we could capture one leader, man, one kid that don't have that extra. But I'm with these guys because I don't have nobody else to tell me I shouldn't be with these guys. I'm hanging around these guys because these ones that I can play with, or these the ones in my neighborhood. But nobody giving me a reason not to hang with them, or telling me by hanging with them what happened. You know, so. Me and you say, you know what, man, these kids ain't listening. But now we just written all of them off.
Yeah.
You know? And some of my nieces, some of my nephews, you know? Again, you know, when we look at families, or we say, you know, we got a lot of single moms out there that don't know how to raise boys to men. I got a program I started in the school. I'm going to touch on that a little bit, that I call the Honors Club.
What is it?
It's called the Honors Club. I was telling you, remember Rite of Passage I was talking about? Teaching, because in the Afro-American community or American community, I've been looking and searching, especially in the Afro-American community, the black young boys in our community don't have a rite of passage. They don't have an ascension to manhood. You know, in certain communities like the Jewish community, they have what they call a bar mitzvah. Kid turned 13 years old, you have a bar mitzvah. And, you know, once a child, you act like a child, but now it's time to put child's things away. You're a teenager now. You're going into manhood. You need to learn different things and how to do different things.
That's dope.
You know? And in the Spanish community, they had the quinceañera, and I'm not sure what the ones for the guys, but they had, you know, have
they got one for them, too.
Right, yes. And they have, you know, what they're doing is an ascension. You're no longer a kid. You're a teenager now. You're not 12, 13. You're not 12, 11, 10. You're a teenager now. It started to be doing mature stuff, acting more mature. This is why we giving you this coming out party. This is why we blessing you so you can become a young man or young woman. In the Afro-American community, we don't have that. When I turned 16, 17, 18, especially 18, 21, you went to the bar and had a drink and go.
That's the rite of passage.
Right, rite of passage, right.
Passage.
But see, that's not telling me how to be a man. That's teaching me how to have a habit.
Exactly. Yeah. Facts.
You know what I mean? What I do with these kids in class, I'm teaching them what it is to be honorable, responsible, and respectful. That's what manhood is about. You can cry, and you should cry. Man should cry. I ain't dealing with no whining, no blaming. When you come in my room, I don't want to know what they did to you. I want to know what you did, how you responded. That's what men do. What did I do? What was my reactions to what they said or did to me? Okay, that's what you did. Why did you do that? Now I want to hear the reason. Well, she said something about this. Dude, she said something about that and you act that way because she said something? Let me explain to you what's going to happen when you react this way in the real world outside this building because somebody said something. But that's the understanding is that's not real men do things because somebody said something. I said real men. I'm putting a disclaimer on that. Real men don't get in people's face because they said something. You know? But if you do something, it's a different story.
So what's your opinion about how a real man would handle that situation?
Well, I could use me, for instance. I had people call me all kinds of names. I'll punch you in your face. I'll kick you. Yo, man, you just talking. Now, I'm not going to let you get in my area to do it, but you just talking, so it's no me. Come and do. No, sir. Okay, maybe you will. You're a punk. You're right. I'm a punk. I'm a punk tonight. But I'm going home. I'm going home. I know when I look in that mirror, I know what I see. I know my skill set. I know what I can do. So I'll be a punk tonight. I'm getting to go home.
So then that kind of goes into the lines of de-escalation.
And that's
because it's hard to do that. I'm like, if I'm gonna be honest, like, it's weird for me because growing up, being non-confrontational actually caused me to get into confrontations because it's like I didn't have no type of conversational talking it out type of skills. So when I got into situations and then it turned into heated arguments, then it turned into something else because I don't know what else to do besides like, let's go. You know what I mean? So how big of that do you think has to contribute to the things that's happening?
That's when we learn those behaviors. You know, I told you I'm from Jersey. Born in Patterson, New Jersey. Had my gang back in the days, ripping and running, drugs and all that. So I seen the violence. We participated in some of the violence.
Yeah.
It was when I learned how to box. I stopped fighting. I knew how to fight. We fought. We fight. And back then, you lost one. Hey, you took that.
So maybe more kids need to learn how to fight.
But what I'm getting at, learn how to box. Different from fighting.
I mean, when I say fight, I mean because you got boxing, you got MMA, you got martial arts.
When we learn those disciplines, I study martial arts. When we learn those disciplines, we stop fighting. We stopped fighting because we knew
there's some bullies out there.
We know, and again. But see, that's the thing. That's the thing. When we face those bullies, I learned what to say to a bully. I know what to say to a bully. You understand what I'm saying? Now and again, I don't let nobody come into my area where they can hurt me. So I keep that distance. But also, hey, listen, man, my hands up. You right. Whatever you say, dude, I'm walking away. Now, if I can't go, that's a different story. But I'm saying because you talking words, I give words power. You give words power. Mm-hmm. Because again, if I say something to you, you may look at it like, man, who the heck that cat is?
So let's make it real world then, right?
Okay.
Let's say we walking down the street. Let's say you step on my shoe, I step on your shoe. It gets heated. Now I'm talking about stoop down, clean my shoe, or else something about to happen to you, right? Now it's a back and forth exchange of words. So in a situation where you get into one of those heated situations where it's a back and forth, because it happened, especially as black men, because we be so competitive, like a friendly competitive conversation can turn into something that's totally different, really fast. So give the young man and the man something that they can use in the real world experience to help de-escalate these situations when they find themselves in these situations.
Well, one of the things is, and this is the honest truth, for a man, what gets me and you in a lot of trouble is our ego and our pride.
Facts.
Our ego and our pride. Our pride, like, who you talking to? Now, ego, I can't let you get away with that. That's what's get us in trouble. I learned to set my pride aside. My ego, man, hey, listen, it is what it is. The pride gets in the way. Because the ego, I know who I am. So that's my level. However, I step on your foot, yo, man, I apologize for stepping on your foot. Well, you need to clean it off. Dude, here go a napkin. I'm not putting it on to clean your feet. I apologize. You stepped on mine. All right, I'll clean my own shoe. You clean your own shoe. And I'm going to try to walk away from it. You know, you demanded me doing something. Now you're trying to be a bully. Now you're trying to, you can't force me to do anything. So that's a different level.
So, but that explanation might don't work for somebody who don't have the words.
Well, what I'm saying is,
so I can swallow my pride, but then what is that like? How do I still?
Again, by swallowing my pride, it's like, man, you're right. I apologize for stepping on your shoe, man. It was an accident. That's what I'm getting at. Well, I ain't meant to step on your shoes. That's not humbling yourself. Because you didn't mean to step on it.
Yeah, okay, I get what you're saying, because you can step on somebody's shoe and then they get mad and then you humbly apologize, but they not trying to hear that.
And if they're not trying to hear it, then it's a different level. Again, I'm not sitting there saying...
when they respond to you, it's in a way where it's like, I would apologize, but since you talking like that,
I still apologize. Yo, man, hey, man.
No, but I'm saying, like, real world, it's like, in real world, situations, like, I would apologize to you, but, or I tried to, but now you wilding.
Sorry. Now you now you're going to be sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. But no, and that happens. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I've been there to where even I'm a minister. I'm a minister. I've been there to where I was ready to go, man, hurt somebody. But I'm sitting there like in my car, I'm ready to go. But I said, you know what, man, let's make this phone call. And I called a friend. Yo, I need to be talked down, man, because right now, that not just the pride or the ego. Yo, you really got me to where it's clobbering time. But because I but I had somebody in my ear to say, yo, you got a lot to lose, Red. You got a lot to lose. So think about it. Is it worth it? But again, there's times where you won't be able to talk your way out of it. I'm talking about the times me and you can talk our way out of it. Because there's more times that we can talk our way out of it than we can't.
Yeah, I agree.
Then we can't.
Definitely.
So, when we look at those what ifs, it's everything is a what if. But I guarantee it's more times that mean you can walk away from a situation than making the situation worse. A lot of us, because of our pride and our ego, don't want to walk away from it. We don't want to walk away from it. And if we make that a violent scale, that violence can go from any level. And then not only me and you get hurt, but anybody else that's in that aspect can get hurt. Now this person want to get involved. Now that person want to get involved,
Yeah.
Because of pride. Because of ego.
Pride and ego.
And that's definitely. A man. With a woman, it's emotion and pride. Her emotions got in the way.
Yeah.
She said, what? I got it, blah, blah, blah. Yo, whoa, what's, Now, her pride, her emotions, And because of those factors, when we don't know how to have them under control, have them checked, that's where we get in trouble. That's where we get in trouble.
Definitely.
Again, the thing is, I learned, and again, I'm throwing scripture out there again, I learned to listen more and talk less.
Yeah.
I try to do my best with that because I love talking.
I know.
love talking.
I know, but I ain't gonna lie to you. This podcast has taught me how to listen better, and especially watching it, and because it's like I'm the type, when you saying stuff and then you give me an idea in my head, it's like, ooh, hold on, let me. But like, I think this ties into the communication part. We always want to get our point across. We always want to get our point across. And long as we want to get our point across and we don't want to understand the person from, like, families argue over politics because everybody want to get their point across. And then, like, going into some whole other stuff, like, God gave us free will. Who am I? Who are you? Who are you? Who are you to judge somebody for their opinion? And why do so many people think that everybody should have an opinion that they got? That would mean everybody the same as you. What kind of fun world would that be to live in if everybody thought the same and acted the same?
We really don't want anybody acting like us. We want to be that a unique original until you're not following my. Hold on. Until you're not following my way.
Man, it's so many people.
Right, that's what I'm saying. You want to be that unique individual until I'm not following your way. And like you said, a lot of us don't know how to be sheepdogs. We know how to be sheeps. We follow. We do. We want leaders. We want leadership. The sad part is we put ourselves up under the wrong leadership. We don't look for a leader with values or morals. We look for someone that feel they strong and they stand out. They can fight or they
invoke those emotions.
Right. And again, even in us men, we can get those emotions hyped up. We think that's logic.
Not at all.
And it's not. And one of the biggest things that I tell a lot of men, feelings are not facts, Doc, and I don't care about your feelings, especially when it comes to reasonable facts. Now, I'm not talking about your feelings if you feel a certain kind of way about your pain. That's different. But your feelings don't count when you talking about not getting a job. You don't want to work at McDonald's.
Okay. All right, so I got to switch gears. Because this is still an entrepreneur podcast.
Yes, it is.
So, and we ain't got that much longer to go. I know, but these subjects is really like this next month. A lot of this is going to be veering away from that. So let's talk about first of all. So you have a gun shop,
Yes.
CPL training,
Yes.
and security. You provide security.
Yes.
How do you balance all of those businesses?
One of the things is a lot of prayer. And I'm saying that not jokingly. The security company, right now, the store is on hiatus. I'm looking for a new building.
Okay.
Everything's still there, but it's on hiatus. But from the firearms, we make sure we schedule it for the firearm classes. It's every Saturday. I'm sorry. Right now, it's the first and second Saturday of the month.
Okay.
So whatever the first Saturday falls on in November, we got a class coming up. August 19th. Now, the reason I ain't got one this on Saturday, because I'm going to be out there with the police department. They having a faith and prayer with the police department. They called me up and asked me, can I be a part of it? And as a minister and as a firearms trainer, they asked, hey, can I be a part of this? So I'm going to be a part of that this Saturday. Also, but on the 19th, that's when we had the firearm training. And again, my CPL training is called My Brother's Keeper Security Solutions. You can Google it, look it up. Black-owned company. And the reason I express that because, again, not because I don't train anybody and everybody, because I want to train and love to train anybody and everybody, and I have, by the grace of God.
Okay.
However, I think I do bring an aspect to the community that we won't get nowhere else. I am a black man with a gun. What do that look like? What's the things that I have to teach my community that you can't get away with when you what our counterparts can get away with? And not saying all of them do, but a lot of them do.
It's different for us.
Right. Being real. And bringing that to the limelight, bringing that to, I teach a method that we learned a long time ago about shooting to kill. I teach a different method. Why? Because certain things you just can't say and do. Does that make sense? I don't want to give everything away and you take the class. But I'll give it away. For instance, you heard the old saying, we shoot to kill, right?
Yeah.
Well, if you use that terminology that you were shooting to kill, that means your intent was to do what?
To kill.
To kill. The law says anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. So if you understand and you say, hey, according to your training, you was trained to shoot to kill, is that correct?
Yes, I was trained to shoot to kill.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you heard him by his own admission. He was killing.
Hold on, wait, what? No, but they ain't.
But that's what you just said. You was trained to shoot to kill, and what was you doing? You just literally said you was shooting to kill him. Now repeat after me. I'm shooting to stop the threat.
The threat.
Now say that. Sir, according to your training, you was trained to shoot to kill. Is that correct?
No, I was trained to shoot to stop the threat.
You see the difference? My intent was never to kill them. My intent was to do what?
To stop the threat.
Stop the threat. Now, he unfortunately took the cement challenge, but that was never my intent. My intent was just to stop him. I apologize for that. But my intent was just to stop the threat. Did that make sense?
It's like night and day in the courtroom.
But a courtroom, right?
It's like
because if you don't know what to say, you're gonna hang yourself. You don't know what to say. You're gonna go. And again, that's built in our DNA because each and every one of us heard that you shoot to kill. Mm-hmm. And because we heard that, and if they spin that word to you, well, what were you doing? I was doing what? Shooting to kill. Now you admitted that you was trying to kill.
Somebody,
but if I was shooting to stop a threat, my intent was never to kill them. My intent was just to stop them.
That could be the difference between 25 to life and no time at all.
Right.
When you look like, yeah.
And so I was in fear of my life. But this is what I teach. It's a whole bunch of other things that we bring to the table. But this is one of the things I teach you because, again, a lack of knowledge will get you in prison. Words will get you in prison. What I say, and most of us say stuff, especially when you're going through different things like that, we say it because we want our story told first.
Yeah.
I got to get my truth out. And even though it is the truth, it's the way you say your truth can send you to jail. The court system system is built like this, especially for the prosecutor. It's not about what happened. It's about what he can prove. Not about the truth. It's about what he can prove. And if you can convince 6 to 12 people that which he said you did, shooting to kill, which you just admitted, if you can convince those people that that's what you did, not protecting your life, not just protecting your life, or not in the right way, you're going to jail.
Okay.
So that's what we bring to the table. So my brother's keepers and also the security company, again, as we started earlier, man, I've been blessed. We do a very fine job in security. We've been working with people in the city, commissioners. The governor came out and called for my company. Hey, can we get my brother's keepers?
So you moving. I see you moving. What has been your biggest challenge as an entrepreneur in your business?
Running it when you
in what
run
aspect?
It, because running it when you're running a business by yourself. I learned going through Spring GR. Not Spring GR.
Spring GR.
Yeah, Spring GR. Learning from Spring GR. One of the things is you can't do 30, 30, 30 in 3 different businesses, because if you do that, they die. So you have to give 100%, learn how to give 100%. And by having my wife, she still runs the company. She still help out. And with her doing her part, it gives me a better flow. That makes sense? She do CPL training also. So she do a better flow too. So now, as my business partner, she could take some of the bookings or run the books. That's the hardest part, not having someone to help you out. Because as an entrepreneur and as a single entrepreneur, when you by yourself doing it, you want to do everything. And you can't do everything.
Sometimes you have to start off doing a lot of
things, and then we forget that, hey, we could get somebody else to help.
So then how are you solving that problem in your business right now?
Again, by allowing her, hey, listen, you part of this company, we need this done. Or, hey, can you do this task?
Are you looking at hiring though?
Definitely. Again, we the store coming. We're looking for this new building, and once I get this new building, we definitely gonna be in a position to hire. I do hire security. I've been partnershiping by the grace of God with and I'm gonna put a tag out there with Job Corps. Job Corps have some great, and if this goes for anybody out there that's looking for any young kid that's coming up that want to learn security, that want to learn cooking, that you got a restaurant, they have a job program that they do let their kids come out to work for you. And I utilize some of those kids to come out to do security for me.
That's dope.
They make a good salary, and then they also learn a basic skill, real world skills. So that's what I've been hiring out. So I do have a team, my original team that works for me. But then I also, like I said, I got to pull from them. So I'm putting that out to any entrepreneur business that want, reach out to Job Corps. Miss Tangela Townsend, she's the work coordinator. Give her a call. I guarantee she can find someone that'll fit whatever you need, from construction to security to culinary. And they got a couple other things in between. I've been reaching out to them.
I know they do security though.
Yeah. And that's what I've been using some of them. Matter of fact, a couple of them worked with me last Saturday when the senators came out over to Brown Hutchinson. Someone worked with me doing I had like 6 or 7. I think 6 of them came out to do the Art Fest. And then I just been having them back and forth different places. They've been working. And you get a lot of these kids that's learning. They learning the business. So some of them come out spot on. Some of them you have to work with them because they're young and they learning. But they are great workers. They're great workers. They listen. They want to learn, and that's great. Also, I've been able to partnership with Job Corps and do some of the training for the kids. Some of the kids that's want to get their firearms, training with them, helping them do that. So my brother's keeper's been in the community, and we, by the grace of God, man, and I give God all the grace and glory, we got a good reputation out in the community. We love our community.
Reputation is a lot.
It's a lot. When you hear Starting on Surviving Startup podcast, you like, hey, I know him. Why are we saying it with a smile on the face? Because you're a great guy and you do great things for the community. When somebody hear my brother's keepers, I hear people like, hey, I know you. Now, they may never see me, but they heard
and they see the
logo.
brand.
They know the brand, and that means everything. So another thing, if you got a brand, make sure you treasuring that and keeping that and making sure that it don't get tarnished, because one of the things about your brand, if it get tarnished, it's hard to get it back.
Brand.
It's hard to get it back. Your brand is everything. You see the logos on the TV right now. That's his logo. You see the logo I'm wearing. My brother's keeper. That's my logo. When people see that, I want to smile on their face. I want to say, hey, that's a company we can trust. And by the grace of God, we got that. We've been working with great partnerships, all kinds of different organizations, Urban League, and like I said, the community outreach, working with all the communities, because we're going in the community, not just to say, hey, I'll give me, but what can I do for you? Here's the free lock program,
Serving the community.
Serving the community. And that's what we was told, at Springer GR, and entrepreneurs, I'm plugging them. They're a great organization, man. They helped me and help us get to the next level, you know?
Definitely.
And we still using them. We still can go back as alumni. They still sending, hey, we doing this, doing that. It's a great program for starters. You starting out, and if you've been in and didn't have that guidance.
I got Randy. I'm just trying to find a good, perfect day for him to come on, and then I just got to convince Chris to come on.
Yeah, Chris, man, that's my man.
I gotta get Chris.
He's awesome. He's awesome. I mean, that's
Chris
awesome.
Mathis, coach.
Yeah, Chris Matthews, man.
You seen this? I'm gonna make it short, a reel, and I'm gonna share it to the
awesome coach,
Spring GR fam channel.
Awesome coach. So again, like I said, my brother's keepers, we also teach our kids. We teaching our kids starting from 7 on up. We teaching them basic firearms training. We teaching them the law. We teaching them what this weapon is used for, to preserve life and not to take a life. We teaching them, when it come to hunting, all different coaches, man. I see them teaching their kids how to hunt, how to go out there with this weapon and use it for the right thing. But our kids are using it for the wrong reasons, because nobody teaching them what the right reasons are. This weapon do not make you a tough guy.
Okay.
This is an old school saying, if you're a punk without it, you're a punk with it.
Exactly.
That's an old school saying.
I'm a man without it. Man without it.
So
okay. All right. Go ahead. Say what you're about to say.
Oh, no. Just again, one of the things is having the right resources and having the right people in line will help you get to that next level.
Okay. And then what would you say to somebody who wants to start a gun shop? Security, you got a lot going on, bro. A gun shop, a security company, or CPL training class.
Know the business. Don't jump in a business you don't know. Don't say, hey, I want to start a security company. You don't know nothing about security. Definitely don't open up a gun shop. You don't know nothing about firearms. Because people's lives in your hands. Security, firearms training. It's training out there. Get the training and become a master of your trade. Learn it. I'm always learning. Matter of fact, I got a system right now and I'm doing deadly force encounter training. I'm always learning. I'm teaching mass shooter training.
Mass shooter
training. What happened if a mass shooter come in right now and start shooting? What's your job to do? What you need to be doing? I'm teaching that. I teach church security. Churches have security systems now, so security people. Teaching them how to function if something happened in that church. You just can't be pulling your firearm out and flashing the whole congregation. How to be in tune, how to be what you're looking for, how to escort people out. One of my the corner phrase, my brother's keepers security solutions, the security company, we concierge security. What do that mean is we treat everybody with the respect and the level of, hey, we here to protect you and give you the service that you need. And that's what we do. We're not police in uniforms. We not, hey, throw them up against the wall. No, we concierge. How can we help you have a great night tonight? That's my job. And that's what we offer our clients. And that's why they call us. Because they know we get the job done, but they see how perfect we do it and how we handle them. How we love on them.
Dope.
And they like that. And that's what you do. So if you open up a security company, make sure you know about security. Make sure you say, hey, this is the expert security I want, and what do I need to learn about doing it? If you're doing a gun store, hey, it's easy, man. I'll be honest with you. If you come to me, give Rev a call. Hey, Rev, I want to open up a gun store. How do I go about getting my license? I'll walk through you step by step. One of the things is I learned a long time ago, the only competition I got is me.
Yeah, but you also got a consultation service if you're gonna do that.
Oh yeah. It's a consultation fee. I'm not doing it for free. No. Hey, listen. I learned this last year. I don't wear a watch to tell the time. I wear a watch so you know how valuable my time is.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I wear my watch. So when I'm coming, hey, Rev, I need you here. I'm outside early, so I make sure your time is worth it.
It's valuable.
It's valuable.
Yeah,
and that's another thing. If you have any services from security to
whatever
class, whatever it is, make sure that you're on time and recognize other people's time. You know, people sign up for my classes
That's big.
a week in advance, a month in advance.
That's
and I'm
big.
sitting up here like, okay, I got a class on the 19th. I mean, I don't feel like doing it. No, people signed up. They valuable time.
Regardless of what you're
if I
going
got
through in your
one
life.
person there, I make sure my class is running.
And it's running just like
It's
if
running
it was
just
a
like
full
it was
class.
if it was 29 people in that classroom or 30 people in that classroom.
Yep.
Because their time is precious. And then because they've sought me out, I got to make sure, hey, listen, I'm going to give you what you need because, again, I appreciate you representing me and wanting me because you can win anywhere.
So that was a lot for the people who want to start one of those businesses. And with that,
hey, I got one more thing to share.
Okay, go ahead. Because
One
I
more
usually
thing to share.
and share whatever you got to share, and then give the people your information so they know where to reach you at.
I will. The thing I got to share is that I just got nominated for the month of October for the National Black Man Business Award.
That's dope.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let's clap it up with the Rev. Yeah, you've been
I
doing
think
big things
man,
in the community, man. See you moving.
God is good, man. God is good. And as you know, for me, as you want to follow or check us out, you can go to my brothers with an S, Keeper, securitysolutions.com, or you can go on our Facebook, it's My Brothers Keeper Solutions.com. So that's how you follow us. And you can book online. Go to that website. If you Google, hey, we Google. If you Google, it'll pop us up right to you and take you to the website too. Again, we do the whole family. My business partner, Latanya, she's doing women nights. So if you want a woman to train you, she's awesome. She's excellent at what she does. She learned from me, so she's definitely good. No, this had to be a little sneak plug. She's really good at what she do. And for women that want a woman teacher, reach out to her. She definitely have the time.
Reach out to My Brother's Keeper.
My Brother's Keeper, yes, and you'll get to her. So, man, that's what I want to share, man.
I appreciate you coming through, Rev.
I appreciate you having me.
Appreciate you coming through, man. Hey, you can be a regular guest on the show anytime you want to come through, man. Anytime you got something going on or something and you want to come, just let me know, man.
I appreciate you.
And y'all heard the episode. Hey, you got value, like, subscribe. If you didn't, like it and subscribe. If you love it, like it and subscribe. If you hate it, like it and subscribe and just come on and be a hater. And with that said,
make sure you
surviving startup. Oh, and make sure you share this too. Oh, okay. So make sure you share this because this whole month, everybody that we got coming on is going to be doing the
pitch night.
The pitch night, but the name, it slipped my mind that quick.
Yeah, see, we old, man. Task force. The
Safe Task Force. Everybody that come on the show this month will be doing the Safe Task Force pitch night to win $10,000 for their cause to help stop gun violence period in the community, de-escalation, all of those things. So share the podcast and support. It's no small. If you got an idea too, look up Safe Task Force, Google them. And if we have a partnership, we'll have some stuff below in the comments, or not the comments, but you know the description. All right, that's it. We out. Peace.
Peace.